Hey, this is Mark Washington with your George Washington Colonial Keys versus Howard tonight, Smith Center at 6 p.m. Howard is 1-1 on the season. They lost to Kentucky by a bunch, and then they beat UDC. Obviously, George Washington is 1-0 with a victory over Virginia State. And some of the keys tonight. First thing is you got to stop fouling. This team fouled quite a bit. They had four guys who had four fouls, and some of the fouls were ridiculous. I mean, Lindo Jr. had four, Maximus Edwards had four, E.J. Clark had four. All those guys sort of lived in foul trouble and lived in foul trouble unnecessarily. And even when I spoke to Coach Chris Caputo after the game, and I asked him about his defense, which, if you looked on paper, their shooting percentage, defense of the shooting percentage was good. But what do you see from a coach's eye? And that was the first thing he said is we got to stop fouling. And that is true. George Washington has got to stop fouling. And it's been a problem. Let's be for real. Especially with Ricky Lindo Jr. It's been a problem before Caputo got here. It's just something that his staff needs to work on. Second, get Maximus Edwards more involved throughout the preseason. He just looks so explosive. He gave George Washington kind of like this other type of look. And I understand with Brendan Adams being hurt in the offseason, along with Hunter Dean being hurt in the offseason, Edwards probably had more opportunities to touch the ball. And then in game one, you had Adams back in starting lineup and got off to a hot start. And then, Bishop got involved into the offense, and Edwards seemed to get most of his opportunities like later in the game. But for this team to be good, for them to compete, especially once they get to the A-10 season, they need to ramp it up where Edwards kind of finds a home inside that offense. And last but not least, they got to dominate the boards. If you looked at the game against Virginia State, despite the fact that Virginia State was smaller, I mean, it's only a +7 for George Washington. Should have been better tonight. They're playing a better team in Howard, meaning that Howard is better than Virginia State. And that's one of the things they have to do. They have to get on the boards because, again, once they're ramping up for A-10 season, there are some physical teams in this conference that will challenge their manhood on the boards. So those are my three keys tonight for the George Washington Colonials as they face the Howard Bison. This is Mark Washington from MTC Media.